When I see a can of Verve, I see my retirement plan. I see my kid's future in that can.
I would have never thought it was possible at 20 years old to be financially free.
If I didn't take the chance on Bema, I would still be waiting tables, making like $250 an hour plus tips. Now I'm all about that residual income.
At the end of the day, Bema's #1 product has really become hope. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. Our friends saying these are dumb, we're throwing our life away. My mom thought it was a cult when I first started.
Since ancient times, cults have been havens for people searching for meaning.
I used to think that people would have to be mildly mentally ill or pretty severely mentally ill to be drawn into a cult.
This is literally Facebook, year 1. Apple in the garage with Steve Jobs. Bill Gates, Microsoft in the basement. This is that revolutionary company.
You cannot let logic control you. Logic is bad for us. Yeah, it's totally illogical for a young person in their early 20s to say they're going to earn tens of thousands of dollars a week. Everybody will think they're out of their mind.
Don't take advice from broke people. I'm, freaking financially free, and they're all broke. Your parents probably broke.
If those people don't support you, snip.
You're in a cult. You're not having that reflective looking back and going, hey, what just happened just then?
Any group that is like a pyramid structure, whether it's a business, a multi-level marketing group, a multi-level marketing group.
I don't care if I go 2 years without making a single penny. Put the chemistry book down. How's chemistry going to pay your bills? Biology, calculus, none of that matters.
Nothing can harm you anymore. There's nothing out there like what we have in here. You are now bulletproof. Nobody can bring you down anymore. There's too many people in this room with the biggest hearts I've ever seen in my entire life. There's no more doubt in their body, in their soul, in their heart. Nothing can stop them. And that's why this company is absolutely destined for greatness. We are destined to be #1. So with that, guys, repeat after me. I will win. 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 Let's go.
In the early 2010s, a burgeoning storm of bullshit eclipsed the sun, drawing darkness upon college campuses nationwide. A sinister fog loomed briefly in the air before giving way to the storm's unrelenting fury.
This is about a 3 to 5 year plan where you never have to worry about money ever again. This is that next big thing that's going to go down in history. We're changing lots of people's lives.
Howling winds of exploitation swept up every SoundCloud rapper from your high school in its path, thrashing the very souls of those who succumbed to its might.
Complaints from parents that the company preys on young adults, that it encourages students to abandon college based on false hopes and dreams. Some call it a pyramid scheme, and worse, that it has brainwashed their kid.
This storm was known as Vemma, the newest multi-level marketing venture from walking midlife crisis BK Baroyko, whose previous MLM company was shut down by the federal government over claims that his product God's Recipe could cure ADHD.
BK Baroyko is the CEO of Bema, guys. He's one of the nicest, biggest heart guy in the world. 2 private planes, all the money in the world, guys. He created this to help people live better. That's all we're about. And yeah, you can make $1 million a year or $1 million a month. That's pretty cool too. So
delusions of grandeur and promises of incomes ranging from thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars per month were peddled to naive freshman students by the dead-eyed Billabong shorts-wearing puppets that served as the faces of the company.
I don't care who you are, getting paid by the hour, getting paid on salary sucks, and you shouldn't have to do it. Okay, it should be, in my opinion, should be illegal, dude. Here you create your own income. I'm seeing like 20 grand a month. The only way you fail in this is by quitting or doing nothing.
It was a concept just simple enough to be absorbed by the flat bill cap-wearing half-wits who were swallowed whole. Recruit your friends to sell Vemma Verve, a translucent battery acid contained in a shiny orange can, to their friends, who then recruit their friends, who then recruit their friends.
And I've confirmed Bema is not a pyramid scheme.
Here's the thing, pyramid schemes are illegal, and they don't involve a tangible product or commodity.
Don't call us a frickin' pyramid scheme, because we're not. We sell a real product.
Although, some kids accidentally gave off the impression that it was.
You're never really gonna go and sell energy drinks. You know, my leader, he's been in the business for 8 months, he's never once sold a can.
Never once sold a can.
You can punt him for all you care. Grab 3 friends with you, like he did right now, below him, that signed after him. He set himself up to get 100% of their business.
What an idiot!
What an idiot!
Are you retarded?
What a fucking idiot!
Oh, what a loser! Good. Good.
We sell a real product.
Your goal is not to sell the drink. We do not sell Verve, all right?
We do not sell Verve.
You can make more money than anyone you've ever met in your entire life. Lawyers cannot touch this at all. Doctors can't touch this shit at all either. Last time I checked, there aren't any surgeons making $85,000 a month. Yeah, man, you're gonna be making a lot of money.
Did you meet people there who lost money?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Preying on impressionable young minds proved easy, flashing fancy watches and speaking at length in generalities about changing the world or creating a movement. Excited directionalist skid marks who watched Wolf of Wall Street and didn't understand that DiCaprio's character was actually the bad guy. This was an unruly bunch of suburban dimwits who grew up worshipping the lyrical gravitas of Lil Wayne and internalized a misguided obsession with money, cars, and stupid fucking shoes, along with a complete misconception of the standards of financial success.
Literally, how cool would it be 3 years from now to walk into a store and never look at a price tag? You want to have so much money, it doesn't even matter. That's why people do Vemma, to have enough money to where it doesn't even matter anymore, guys.
At its peak, this company had managed to brainwash over 350,000 intellectually inept kids into believing that they were hotshot entrepreneurs. One day they were skipping their intro to communications class, sprawled out on cum-stained bed sheets watching Blue Mountain State in their dorm rooms, and the next they were pestering their entire network of friends about a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Hey, my name's Alex Moore, and your friend sent you this message because we are excited and fired up about our product and a concept that's literally helping thousands of young people all across the country start their own business, be their own boss.
Oblivious to the fact that they were just cogs in a pyramid scheme, these cons reached over and tugged at each other's little wieners to celebrate the fact that they owned their own business.
Because here, we own our own business, and it's really, really cool.
Then they started claiming they owned international businesses because they had some dipshit Skype into a meeting from Toronto. They'd go to company summits wearing their finest off-the-rack department store blazers. They filleted each other non-stop at the mere mention of the company.
We all believe in the same vision. You know, we all have goals. Vemma is one big family, you guys.
And lashed out at those who didn't join.
Your best friend's telling you no, people in your family telling you it's not possible.
You don't need any of those people. I'm telling you, you don't. I'm not asking you. You do not need them.
They cut off all the naysayers and insulated themselves within the warm labial folds of Vemma's rancid pussy. They flooded Twitter and Facebook feeds with an endless stream of self-aggrandizing drivel.
Get out there and put in the work. Go the extra mile. Be a grinder. Have a positive mental attitude.
They joined a pyramid scheme and all of a sudden thought they were Tony Robbins.
Personal development.
Personal development.
Personal development.
Personal development. Personal development. Personal development, guys. Personal development. It's not the blowing of the wind, but the set of the sail that determines your destination. It's your mentality.
They were all trying to cultivate this online persona of a self-help or business guru.
What's up, everybody? You got Coach Core here over on CoachCore.com.
They self-published books with titles like This Is It, It's Never Too Late But Never Too Early to Build Your Dreams. They wouldn't shut the fuck up about growing or developing or building a better mindset.
It's your mindset.
Mindset?
Your mindset.
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 You're changing, developing, growing.
We're all significant. We're all unique, and we all have excellence inside us.
If you want to step up and be a leader, leaders do the things other people don't want to do.
Build your desire.
That's why we work as hard as we do, so that we can get better.
Motivating each other became just a hands-free method of stimulating each other's genitals.
I need to motivate myself, and I need to get you guys motivated too.
Seriously, listen to these fuckers.
And learn that they don't have to follow a system, do a system that they don't like to be doing. And what that system is just them not doing what they don't want. It's them being unhappy, you know? So this system's, it's a really internal system, you know? And it takes the principles of not doing what you don't want to do and turning it into something you want to do.
Vemma was a pyramid scheme that funneled money to the top, just like Herbalife, Advocare, or the cosmetics company that the girl from your high school who got pregnant at 17 now hawks on Facebook. But it stands out for being the first of its kind to harness the power of social media, weaponizing it against the demographic whose world revolved around it.
This is the first organization that's done social network marketing.
We're taking our social networks and monetizing it.
By conducting their business through Twitter and Instagram, Vemma integrated the online engagement that these kids craved into their business model.
It was made to connect us, but it's made us more self-obsessed.
I wanted attention.
So did it matter to you, the number of likes that you got?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, it was very thrilling.
Your social network and business network, by design, were the same. As Vemma grew, your list of followers grew. A new recruit meant a new kid liking your post, gargling your hot low with every motivational quote. They built a massive online army that flooded social media timelines, circle jerking each other with the validation of likes and retweets. Vemma used the internet to reach, indoctrinate, and exploit kids who grew up idolizing rappers and celebrities.
Because narcissism, at base is all about trying to get more.
I always wanted more.
And it's always more in these rather shallow ways.
Obviously, make a lot of money.
I want nice shit, I want nice house, nice cars, nice things.
Have a private jet, have a Lamborghini.
I want to be famous. I'm in Vemma because it helps me get to that point.
On the surface, it was just some stupid scam your friend from high school got sucked into. But dig beneath the surface, and you'll find dark patterns of coercion and emotional manipulation. Relationships poisoned, perspectives constricted, indoctrination into a philosophical belief system based entirely on the disavowed teachings of a pseudoscience hypnotic healing movement from the 1800s.
There's a power flowing to and through us. And as it flows into our consciousness, we can build anything out of it we want. This is an absolute law of the universe.
A business whose structure could only sustain itself with the failure of the bottom rungs of the pyramid managed to gaslight these kids into blaming themselves when they failed.
You want to be successful or you want to be a failure? It's your decision.
What's your excuse in this? Because I guarantee you we had it harder, dude.
And guilt them into sticking around for more.
They believe that if they leave it, they'll be leaving their dream. And they'll be a failure.
If you don't make this work, what are you gonna go to?
I've had kids sell their Xbox to do this. I've had kids take out loans from the bank to do this.
Don't quit. Don't quit or you're selfish.
I don't understand why you want to quit. It makes no sense because it's stupid easy, and the only stupid part about it is probably you for not understanding that.
The type of abusive manipulation most commonly attributed to religious cults.
Black and white, us versus them, good versus evil, simplistic ideology that says we have the vision for how the world has to be, or we have the tools for how to be the best person you can be.
Vemma flew too close to the sun and was eventually shut down, but it laid the framework for a new generation of scams that target teenagers with identical tactics.
They tell us to go to college, get a job, retire at 65.
It's important to recognize the methods these companies use to suck kids in.
We need to create a movement for our generation, one that inspires people to take action to achieve their dreams. Not the dreams our parents have for us or our society. We need a movement that inspires people to live
because one day, it could be your kid that turns into this.
Now I'm rolling like a player cause I'm feeling pretty great. I don't know what's inside the street, but I ain't feeling any hate. And then my homie shouts back, do it for the Verve. Yeah. Jesus. Fuck. Fuck.
He was able to lure the unsuspecting teenagers who were looking for a purpose.
How much you want out of this opportunity is completely up to you.
First of all, I got an iPad out of this. I was like, hey, I love my iPad.
It all starts with a pitch meeting. You cram into the living room of the apartment your friend's parents pay for and listen to some kid in a Sammy Adams t-shirt pitch the ultimate opportunity.
The biggest movement in our generation that ever happened.
Why does the day of the week even matter? Sun comes up, goes down, we make money while we're asleep. That's how Vemma works.
These wide-eyed dreamers would gulp down incoherent platitudes, spewed from the mouths of these twats who compared their decision to drop out of college to the path of Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg, then would stand up, tuck their boners in their waistbands, and enroll in the company. While there's no evidence per se of ritualistic sex initiations, and none were caught on camera, I don't think it's out of line to assume with 100% certainty that they definitely took place. No question in my mind. And here's how it worked.
Step 1, get a builder pack.
You'd spend $500 on a starter pack to enroll, and then commit to mandatory $150 monthly purchases of Vemma products to remain eligible for the affiliate program, where you receive bonuses as you recruit people underneath you. Recruit enough people, and you get a brand new car.
I'm about to get a brand new BMW from the company, so I'm about to hit the 6th month. I'll probably get the BMW by the 7th month.
Untroubled by the fact that they just signed over $650 to some coked out Neanderthal, they hit the ground running, eager to begin recruiting their friends.
But I will guarantee you this, everybody you know will get a push to Vemma in the next 12 months, promise you that.
One of the first steps outlined in the Vemma training Bible was to make a list of 100 to 500 people to reach out to. 100 to 500 people to start.
Your list should consist of every single person you know that is currently breathing oxygen on planet Earth. 200 names, minimum.
So there's that dude on your Facebook list that you went to school with, but you never talked to. He was in your English class in high school, and you have no idea like how to start the conversation.
Say something like this, hey Brad, what's up? You know, man, I know we haven't talked in like 10 years.
Nobody was safe.
We're all in college, right? We all want to go out and party. Everyone wants to go out and party. Like, think about it. You know, right now, not everyone's looking for a business, but everybody's looking for a party on the weekend.
Make small talk on Facebook, you know, get a text him or something. Hey man, I know we haven't hung out in a while, but I thought this would be a great opportunity to catch up. You don't want to make it seem transparent that your only intention and the whole conversation was to use them. You're like, oh, how's school? How's blah, blah, blah. In the back of your mind, you're like, I'm about to get you.
Are you gonna be a poser? A poser is somebody who puts 4, 5, maybe even 10 people on a contact list, you guys. Do not be a poser. Number 2 are amateurs. When people start telling them no, when their best friends tells them it's a pyramid scheme, guys, they get all nervous and scared like a little tiny kitten. You want to be a professional. Professionals' lists are always growing. Okay, meaning anybody you've ever met in your entire life, and who do they know, and they know, and they know, and they know, write them down, man.
After a long day of pestering their entire network of friends, these freshman general studies majors would return to their dorm rooms and masturbate incessantly to motivational videos featuring Alex Morton, the ultimate face of Vemma, and YPR, the Young Professional Revolution.
As soon as I learned the mission of the YPR, I just really understood that, this is about something much bigger than myself.
Favorite things about the Young Pros movement is that it's organic. It's made from young people for young people. It's from the YPR for the YPR.
The YPR movement was a perfectly calculated ploy to exploit the insecurities of young adults in the post-recession whirlwind of the 2010s.
Everything going on out there, it sucks. The job market sucks, the economy sucks. 53.6% of my graduating class last spring, regardless of degree or school, is unemployed a year from now. All my best friends who don't do this with me, dude, they don't have jobs. Like, they're broke. Like, no money.
These spineless vultures in Vemma pounced on the fears of susceptible youths floating in the void between childhood and adulthood.
The average student loan debt for a bachelor's degree is about $25,000.
And number 2, man, unemployment or underemployment straight out of college.
Put the chemistry book down. Yeah, I said it. So you don't have to graduate and be broke like everybody else. You're gonna go out, do what everybody else does. Make a resume, go beg someone to hire you, kiss some dickhead's butt for a raise or a promotion. Okay, and then be a slave for a paycheck the rest of your life. Or an employee. And a little side note on the word employee. In the dictionary, a synonym is slave, dude. A slave.
They painted a picture of an unforgiving world.
To be honest, most of your friends are gonna be broke.
And arrived at the doorsteps of gullible students bearing a gift. An opportunity to escape the creeping reality that had been eating away at their aimless souls since the clock struck midnight on their childhoods. That reality was, they had no idea what they were going to do with their lives.
I went to San Diego State University, and I don't know about you guys, but dude, I was looking for something.
Right now, in times like this, people are scared, people are frozen in their lives, people don't know where they're going, and Vemma really has become the answer to our generation's questions.
20th century psychologist Erik Erikson, the man who literally created the term identity crisis, laid out the stages at which your identity as a person is forged. The most important stage, according to Erikson, takes place during adolescence, your teenage years. He calls this the identity versus role confusion stage.
During this stage, a person is trying to discover who they are. They're trying to understand their place.
They're all stuck in the classic teenage struggle. Their newly forming identities were at odds with other people's expectations of what roles they should play.
I've always been told my whole life, my parents, my grandparents, my relatives, my friends, everyone's always told me, go to school, get good grades, go to college, get good grades, get a good job. But that's not what I actually wanted to do. He finally asked me, what do you want? Where do you want to be? What do you want to have in life?
What do you want? What do you want? God damn it. What do you want?
American youth are in the grip of a narcissism epidemic.
He had this obsession with fame and celebrity, more materialistic values.
For the most part, you are famous because you are famous and rich, right?
During the time when this batch of teenagers were experimenting with who they wanted to be and what they wanted out of life,
Growing up, I always saw people like Jay-Z and Donald Trump and people that have these lavish lifestyles, people making, lots and lots of money.
Do people actually emulate that?
it became evident that society had bred a generation of shallow, materialistic fame whores.
I want to be famous.
That rock star lifestyle.
Driving BMWs, making tons of money, wearing Breitling watches, and making it, being rich.
Yeah, I want nice shit, I want nice house, nice cars, nice things.
I want a Lambo, I want a Ferrari, I want a Bentley, I want a fat ass house in Miami, I want a penthouse over in San Diego, I want a big ass yacht.
I want to be a rapper. I want to be the world's biggest rap phenomenon.
Bema and Verve, Body and Next. There's nothing you can say to contest these paychecks.
Jumping on Bema, now I'm waiting on my Bema.
Marketing of items just seems so shallow to me. Like, you can see it.
Between TV shows about being a celebrity, songs about being rich, or literally throwing wads of $100 bills on strippers, these kids grew up idolizing symbols of wealth and status. So when a company comes along and finger blasts them with promises of that lifestyle, it was an easy sell.
Nice cars, big houses, respect, people working, for an honest living, but are you honestly living?
At the critical point in determining who they wanted to be, Vemma systematically exploited these kids' insecurities. They were off at college in a new environment. Vemma gave them a place to fit in. They didn't know what they wanted to do with their futures. Vemma gave them a career. They didn't want to be like their parents. Vemma told them their parents were failures, and that becoming an entrepreneur was the only way to avoid that fate.
You're either in or you're out. If you want to work till you're 72, then you might as well get up and leave right now. Chances are you'll be struggling financially for the rest of your life.
There was no other choice to be made, and the choice had to be made now. Join Vemma or
die average and mediocre, man.
This heightened sense of stakes was powerful enough to completely reshape their identities, morphing them into loyal acolytes who parroted the same hollow buzzwords.
Stay consistent, you stay persistent, you just pursue things relentlessly, and just have a mentality that you don't make excuses and you don't set yourself up for failure.
And committed their lives to grinding. But the truth was that they weren't fucking doing anything. The YPR movement was all about dreaming.
Okay, tip of the day. Follow your dreams.
You have to see yourself in the future. You have to see yourself driving that car, living in that house.
Vemma affiliates were literally instructed to create dream boards to hang on their walls.
Write down your goals, guys. Write them down, get them posted up on your wall. You want to make sure that you have it in sight.
Print out the BMW, stick it on your wall and stare at it. Put it in the bathroom and stare at it.
Vemma implanted these outlandish ideas into their hollowed out brains and told them that by wanting to achieve them, they would.
It's your belief. If you raise your belief, you will raise your results.
And keeping them laser focused on these delusional dreams was a concerted effort to keep their attention off the reality that none of them were making any fucking money.
The fact of the matter is, I need to vent. I've been in Vema for 7 months now, and I've made about $600.
According to their own report, 96% of all affiliates made less than a person working a minimum wage job. Only 3% made more than someone who collects welfare benefits. Only 0.65%, that's 0.65%, made more than $40,000. The wage they would frequently mock teachers for earning. 80% made less than $1,232. Which, when you factor in the mandatory starter pack and the mandatory $150 monthly pack, means they lost money.
Here's the mailing envelope straight from Bema. Here's the initial check. It's only $100 because if
you're gonna be making a lot of money.
Got my first paycheck, $110. Next thing you know, I had to do something for myself. So, bling. Alright.
They were too busy jerking off to the Maseratis on their dream boards to even notice that they weren't earning what they were promised. Reality was secondary to the fantasy. It was never about how much money they were making, it was about how much money they were going to make. And if you dreamed it, you'd get it.
Whatever you want, you're gonna get. Whatever you plan up here is gonna happen. Reality, man. Whatever you think about grows. Think and grow rich or think and grow poor. You pick. I want to think and grow rich. I want to have enough money in 2 years to walk into a store, never look at a price tag, have a private jet, have a Lamborghini. Why? Because we're human beings. We can do whatever we want.
These dipshits with room temperature IQs bought in fully to the ethos that served as the foundation of Vema's grift. Thoughts become things. A mantra that forms the basis of the law of attraction.
The law of attraction is always working. Everything that comes into your life, you're attracting into your life. Do you know that thought waves are cosmic waves that penetrate all time and space? And when I think something, I control the vibration I'm in. And when I control the vibration I'm in, I control what I attract into my life. If I want greater wealth, I just have to see it coming into my life.
A principle of New Thought philosophy, a pseudoscience mind cure movement described by psychologist James Henry Luaba as a psychotherapic cult, a product of ignorant and ill-trained minds that defies logic and offends common sense. This philosophy was founded upon the unpublished ramblings of a complete fucking lunatic named Phineas Quimby, who claimed that as a child he cured himself of tuberculosis by having fun riding his horse and deciding he'd rather just do that than die of tuberculosis.
He really sort of discovered that if people thought they would be better, then they would be better.
He wanted people to understand that their mind was creating their reality.
Overcame tuberculosis at a time when that was a death sentence.
He put "Cure My TB" on his dream board, and voila. Something like disease was simply a matter of incorrect thinking. Sadness, poverty, misfortune, all matters of the mind that we can choose to overcome.
He was able to access the subconscious mind.
And if they changed the way that they thought, they could change the circumstances and conditions of their life.
To set the record straight, Phineas Quimby was a fucking whack job who traveled the country healing people of their ailments through hypnosis. His work was then adopted by other whack jobs who believed it to be the secret to a higher power. The philosophy was molded into more abstract and baseless concepts of positive thinking and became the basis of the modern-day motivational speaking and life coaching industries. One of the most famous proponents of this philosophy is a horny old fart named Bob Proctor.
I've known this guy since my parents introduced me to Bob Proctor.
He frequently spoke at Vema events and was revered as a sort of god within the community. He was rich and successful, so his word was gospel. And what did he tell them?
The opportunity that you're looking at here with Vema is one of the best opportunities that you're ever going to find.
There wasn't any reason to lie, right?
Now, I've got a reputation that is worldwide. I wouldn't do anything to stain or do hurt my reputation.
Unless, of course, his wife and daughter were both highly ranked affiliates within Vema, clearing $15,000 a month each.
I introduced my own wife to the company, and she earns tens of thousands of dollars now. I willingly and gladly support this opportunity.
Bob Proctor rose to fame with the 2006 best-selling book, The Secret, which popularized the law of attraction.
The Secret is a book that really is touching a nerve around the world.
This is a book that literally suggests that being overweight is a result of fat thoughts, that cancer can be cured by laughter, that disease can only be held in your body by thought. You can't develop an illness unless you think you can. That the victims of events like natural disasters or genocide, where mass lives are lost, attracted the events into their lives by being on the same frequency as the event. In an interview with ABC News, when asked if kids starving in Darfur were attracting starvation, Bob Proctor replied with, "I think the country probably has. Anything bad that happens to you is a result of you attracting it into your life. If you fail, it's because you didn't want it enough." One might call this victim blaming, a useful tool for an organization in which, according to one unnamed Vemma ambassador, people had to fail for them to make a profit.
You can either blame the system, say these things don't work.
There's no excuses in Vemma, guys. We have the greatest everything in the world.
You can make excuses, or I realized you can freaking make money.
By instilling in these kids' heads that success was purely a matter of their own willpower,
it all comes down to, once again, the individual.
You guys are the authors. You guys are the ones that get to decide how this comes out for you.
It absolved Vemma of blame when they inevitably failed. Instead of looking at the corrupt scheme that had swallowed them whole, they looked within to figure out what they were doing wrong.
Yeah, it sucks. It makes you feel like you just are worth nothing. It makes you feel like you failed. But I had to sit by and watch that happen because in the first place, I allowed that to happen.
But Proctor didn't stop there. Once he beat them down, he had to build them back up so they wouldn't quit. He not only rewired them to blame themselves for their failures, he rewired them to embrace their failures, to believe failure was just an opportunity for growth. All the greats have failed before breaking through. Failure means you're just one step closer to success. Bob Proctor popped a few little blue pills and fucked these kids right in the ass. If they quit, they're weak.
Most people don't have enough in here to ever succeed anyway.
If they let failure scare them, then they never had what it takes to succeed in the first place.
If you want to succeed, you're going to succeed no matter what.
If they question the company,
so forget everyone that says we're not going to work. You screw it. You should believe it. You understand? Like, if you don't believe it after this meeting, then you got to check in the mental hospital, dude, because that's wrong with you.
This is a textbook example of thought reform techniques used by cults.
You're wasting too much time wondering why it's not working instead of changing some patterns and avenues in your life to make it work. You have to make it work. So what are you going to do if it's not this?
Another characteristic is that it has thought reform-like characteristics, that is, systematic indoctrination.
My name is Steve Hassan, and I am a mental health counselor, and I am an expert on cults and mind manipulation, mind control, and brainwashing.
Don't you think people are just searching for meaning? I mean, that's what a lot of this is.
People are searching for meaning to make their life a better place.
Well, that's how they suck you in, right?
Any group that is like a pyramid structure, some controlling relationship where someone is at the top, that uses this control to create a new identity that's dependent and obedient.
Dateline did a special on Amway a number of years ago. Extraordinary insight into the world of people who are just so much like a cult, like the work that I do with people involved with the Moonies and Scientology.
And I have a model called the BITE model that can lay out specific behaviors.
Hassan lays out the multitude of tactics cults use to manipulate their members through behavior, information, thought, and emotion control. Cults suck you in with what he calls love bombing. They praise you and make you feel special.
You're God's highest form of creation. You can do anything you set your mind to. I don't give a shit, man.
They gain your trust and then subject you to sustained indoctrination.
We're doing meetings, we're doing Skype calls all day long.
Think about it every day. Every night.
Drilled into people's heads.
You study, you read the books, you listen to the audios, you watch the videos,
You get on every single piece of information and knowledge you need is right here.
If you need to watch countless hours of Vemma Motivation, YPR Radio, Bob Proctor, and Alex Morton, do it. Because after you watch those videos, there's nothing that you can't do. It doesn't matter if you have negative dollars. You can still do it after watching those videos.
Information control, where they either lie to you, or they hold back critical information, or they distort information. They lie to you.
53.6% of my graduating class last spring, regardless of degree or school, is unemployed a year from now.
A study from the same year by the Economic Policy Institute determined that unemployment amongst recent college grads was 8.8%.
50% of kids are recent graduates.
54% of them.
55% of the graduating class.
56% of kids graduating college this year are unemployed a year from now.
Network marketing is the #2 highest paying out industry, right below professional athletes.
It's network marketing, right? $167 billion industry that's created more millionaires than anything else other than professional athletics.
The second highest paid industry in the country.
The only sources for network marketing being one of the highest paid professions are fake ones created by network marketers. Like this article where someone took the actual list of best paying professions and swapped orthodontist with network marketer.
Big groups that have a lot of money are manipulating the internet and manipulating the search engines, manipulating the internet.
A big thing that you guys have probably heard about, the Harvard business study.
Vemma frequently boasted that Harvard Business School reviewed the company and gave it their seal of approval. This idea came from a few unsourced, crudely photoshopped images that they circulated around Twitter. The spokespeople convinced kids the company couldn't be illegal because they had big name endorsements.
I saw the credibility with being the official product of an NBA basketball team, the Phoenix Suns.
Verve's the official drink of the Phoenix Suns.
Vemma paid the team a $450,000 yearly sponsorship fee to become the official energy drink of the Phoenix Suns. But this fact becomes twisted into, we're sponsored by the Phoenix Suns.
Sponsored by the Phoenix Suns.
Credibility, guys, speaks for itself. An NBA team would make a Verve night lounge dedicated to our product.
Some of them legitimately thought the Suns plastered Vemma banners in their arena because they believed in the product. By their logic, it's like the Detroit Pistons, who play in the Little Caesars Arena, loved $5 hot and readies so much that they dedicated an $800 million arena to them. That's not how it works. And don't get them started on Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz having Verve on his show for the health purposes.
I'm sure all of you guys know Dr. Oz.
But you know what really got to me, guys? This guy right here. You don't know who that is?
Dr. Oz.
That's Dr. freaking Oz, man. What he says basically goes.
Dr. Oz, noted fraud, had a charity that accepted over $1 million in donations from Vemma founder BK Baroyko.
Son of a bitch.
Families often try to talk rationally to their loved one in one of these groups.
Your parents probably broke.
I completely cut off all of the people that didn't have what I want.
Unless mom and dad have what you want, their opinion is irrelevant. Their opinion doesn't matter, dude.
If those people don't support you, snip. You can easily put those people out of your life.
Unfortunately, the group tells the members things like, don't associate with dream stealers, or don't hang out with negativity.
Beware of the dream stealers. It could be your mom, dad, cousin, sister, brother, wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever.
Cults often flip criticism directly back on those who criticize them.
The critics talk about our business model, and they throw around the term scam and pyramid scheme. And just fact, last week I read this article in Forbes. They were calling the college education system in this country a pyramid scheme.
We're not a scam. College is a scam. We're not a pyramid scheme. Corporate America is a pyramid scheme.
Corporate America or a job / pyramid scheme where there's one CEO, one president, one vice president, top executive, regional manager, salesman, phone, and gender, and you're at the bottom of the pyramid scheme, dude. And the way you move up, someone dies, right? Death.
It's what you do with it once you have it. Just stepping it up a few more notches. Building these healthy habits, staying consistent.
Commit to a few simple things. And one of the main ones is being coachable.
You gotta paint the picture up here first.
What does it boil down to? Freedom.
I mean, it takes mental toughness.
And cults impose control over your emotions. Members live and die by the praise and acceptance of their leaders. And then when times get hard, they manipulate you into thinking your problems are your own fault. And to keep you from stepping away, cults instill fears of what would happen if you were to leave the group.
Multi-level marketing type groups, they install a phobia around the idea of having a job.
If you do what everybody else is doing outside of these walls and they're all broke as hell, make $36,000 for the next 4 years of your life, be told when to eat lunch and when you're allowed to pee and use the restroom, dude, because that's what future is going to be. Be average and mediocre. You want to be average and mediocre, or do you want to be great? Retire, go to Europe once with your wife, come back, watch TV for 10 years, pass away, 10 people show up to your funeral and they go, wow, he was a great man. And you die average and mediocre, man.
They believe that if they leave it, they'll be leaving their dream, and they'll be a failure, and they'll be stuck with a job. And this job is a terrible,
which is portrayed as the worst fate for
it's
anybody.
Like being sentenced to hell.
If you don't make this work, what are you going to go do?
And at their lowest points, Bob Proctor struts in and shoots his hot, gooey sermon of the law of attraction all over their faces to keep them in line.
Abundance is your birthright. If you want more, if you want greater wealth, make up your mind right now that you're going to build the image of what you want, and you're going to hold on to that image, and you're going to stay in that vibration.
They had no chance. Between the societal decay that led to their shallow materialistic greed, the predatory claws of this full-fledged cult digging into their skulls, and then this geriatric coffin dodger sodomizing them with a long cock of positivity, sucking out their very youth to ensure his own immortality, once they were in, they were in.
If you're not gonna do this, what else are you gonna do? What else are you gonna do? Let's go! Break it up! This drink is legit. Clinical studies have concluded that this stuff is scam.
Oh
That's a
man,
pyramid scheme.
I heard Vema gives out Mercedes and BMWs. Oh my goodness, that's not...
Oh, BMW.
Oh, is that a Verve number 10? That's how we do, everybody. You know what I mean? Make excuses or make money. I know my credit issue is holding me back, but I got a little surprise for y'all coming up this week.
By mid-2013, they were reporting monthly sales of $20 million and over 30,000 new members joining each month. Alex Morton had jizzed his own special brand of false hope into the agape-welcoming mouths of clueless 18-year-olds nationwide who would stop at nothing to obtain the riches they were promised. And the rest of us were annoyed, to say the least.
Yo, what's up, Bema World? Here with Jamie the Dime.
So, as we all know, Bema is a great way to make money. 80% of network marketers are women. Boom, right there. That's proof that anyone can do it.
The business continued expanding into 2014, and kids were flocking to join the ranks at a rate that was quite honestly embarrassing to witness. They held bigger conventions in bigger arenas. They paid what was surely an exorbitant amount of money for 5'2" sentient ventriloquist dummy Gary Vaynerchuk to walk on stage and spray endless ropes of thick, creamy cum all over their immaculately gelled haircuts.
And the answer is simple. I suck at 99% of things, but I'm all in one thing. The only thing I do is I market in the actual fucking year we live in.
With each emphatic cuss word that spilled from Gary's cocaine-numbed Belarusian lips, they were thrust deeper into the throes of full-body orgasm.
So what do you want, a fucking cookie?
It was obvious this wasn't sustainable. But you've got these cunts at the top doubling down because they were making more and more money off the failure of the massive base of the pyramid. Just take a listen to presidential leader Jamie Cheerio, affectionately named for the cereal he eats by the boxful every morning.
Okay, I had some personal development issues. I had never read a book.
They trot this fat piece of shit out there in a stupid fucking bow tie, wearing a jacket that he literally couldn't button up to save his mother's life, and he pleads with people to stick with the program despite failure.
It doesn't matter how long it takes. Don't quit, okay? Don't quit or you're selfish.
In a crazy turn of events, however, Jamie Cheerio, the country's most fervent consumer of sugary cereals, is actually able to divert his mind away from his recurring daydreams of gulping down the leftover milk from his bowl to deliver a poignant thought.
You have to be close enough to relate, but far enough away to motivate. But some people are too far away to relate and too close to motivate.
Being too close to motivate. That was the epidemic Vema faced. They reached this point by having their trained spokespeople running the recruitment events with a refined strategy. Alex Morton, despite his empty bullshit and his infuriating tendency to say, you know, after every thought.
Obviously, it's nuts, man. I'm gonna go into, what happened to me, how this thing, really started.
He was at least well-spoken enough to convince a room full of ADHD-medicated troglodytes to buy in. Now, it's the idiots who fell for Morton's pitch parroting his words back at recruits.
Starbucks. There's no bucks in Starbucks, so stop drinking it, ladies.
Ladies, don't drink Starbucks. There's no bucks in Starbucks.
One thing, ladies, Starbucks doesn't pay any bucks, so why do you drink it?
I had a huge ego and a tiny little bank account.
I had a small bank account and a big ego.
He messaged me on Facebook. If I didn't click accept, none of you would probably be here right now. There's 3 types of people in the world. You're one of them. Sorry to break the news to you guys.
3 types of people in this world, I hate to break it to you.
People either make things happen.
There's people who make things happen.
They watch things happen.
People who watch things happen.
And then there's people who go, what the heck just happened?
And there's people who go, what the fuck just happened?
There's probably a credibility gap that exists between you and them. They don't know you as the $1 million business idea person.
My name is Vicente. Thank you guys for coming out. So I heard about this back in December. I actually went to college in Iowa playing soccer. I almost lost my scholarship because I was being a retard.
Gentleman's making $24K a month. I'm listening to what you guys say. You can either make excuses or you can make money.
They had to convince you that you'd get rich, but they'd reached a point where community college dropouts were trying to sell that dream.
All around the world that we live in, it's a pyramid scheme. Come on. You're gonna work them down low. I mean, only if I had a paper.
Today, Junior?
The bosses, the general managers are here. And you're working down like a bird. You're just throwing a bunch of snow in front of your head.
It just wasn't convincing. Frustration had mounted for many of those who had poured their hearts and souls into the business to no avail. But they were so brainwashed that they weren't even considering abandoning ship.
I don't care if I go 2 years without making a single penny. There is no excuse that you can't do this.
Where at first pitch meetings were all about the YPR lifestyle, now it was all about trying to prove it wasn't a pyramid scheme.
I just want to make this really quick video for people who are searching about Vemma, trying to figure out, is this for me? Is this a scam? Is this for real?
Vemma, is it a pyramid scheme? A lot of people are saying that. Cat's out of the bag, Vemma is not a pyramid scheme.
But the more facts and figures they spewed, it just further proved it was bullshit.
All right, 2 cases of product cost you $150. You get 48 cans. Comes out to about $2.80 a can if you kind of do all the math and all that kind of stuff.
Statistically, dude, I think it's like 70 billion a day. Is that too much? 70 million a day.
These wet-brained cretins could not pry their heads free from the unyielding vice grips of their own asses. The crusty remnants of Alex Morton's jizz had hardened and sealed shut their shell-shocked anuses, rendering their holes impenetrable from either direction. All outbound traffic was diverted elsewhere, which explains the constant deluge of shit that spurted from their mouths like a high-pressure spindle-top gusher. Then suddenly, their spewing shit hits the fan with the same ferocity that Alex Morton's ejaculate had hit their faces for the last 2 years. In October of 2014, a class action lawsuit is filed against the health and wellness side of Vemma, alleging it's making illegal health claims about their products. Claims like Alex Morton posting on Facebook that this quadriplegic boy hadn't required medical attention since he started taking a double dose of Vemma Verve. Rolling Stone publishes an article eviscerating the YPR movement, and their profile of Alex Morton allows him to make a complete mockery of himself. The Today Show gracefully entraps one of the senior leaders of the company into essentially admitting it's a pyramid scheme.
Say you signed up 3 friends. Okay. And then you and I would help those 3 friends sign up their 3 friends.
You were telling her to go sign up some friends and make money, then those friends make money if they sign up friends.
Well, yes, but it's not an illegal pyramid scheme.
Is it shaped like a pyramid, the business structure?
It is shaped like a pyramid, yes.
These national stories gain traction and firmly taint the company's already shitty reputation. But the denial of those inside grew wilder.
I made a post about Vemma being on the Today Show. Doing it big. This is how you know when you're onto something. Vemma is going to the billions. The best days are ahead of us with this company.
The ongoing battle between Vemma and the Federal Trade Commission will continue in a court hearing scheduled for tomorrow.
In August of 2015, the Federal Trade Commission files a temporary restraining order against Vemma, claiming it's an illegal pyramid scheme. Court documents show that the company was losing money at this point, more than $4 million in 2015, and that 94% of affiliates were earning less than $500 per year.
Projected to do over $400 million this year, and by the next 36 to 42 months be a billion-dollar company and go into the multiple billions.
An injunction is filed that puts the nail in the coffin for their business model. They could no longer force people to purchase products in order to gain access to its affiliate program. And they could no longer tie bonuses to recruitment, which is literally the entire process of Vemma. Alex Morton was now figuratively banned from shooting hot loads of liquid fool's gold into teenagers' mouths. Now they can't recruit. The only possible way to make money is the legal way. They'd have to actually sell the products.
You're never really gonna go and sell energy drinks. We do not sell them, alright?
And not only were they completely unequipped to actually make sales, who the fuck was gonna buy that shit? Alex Morton, conveniently, jumped ship to a new company just as times got hard.
And I'm here to tell you, every single thing you go through, every challenge you go through is 100% worth it when you make it.
It all fizzles out. And eventually, Vemma and its founder, BK Borojko, settle with the FTC for $238 million.
It's done. Yes, Mr. Frodo. It's over now.
Hey everyone, today is just a sad day for network marketing. It's official that the FTC has shut down Vemma. That's sad to hear, that a company as iconic as them, a company that had such a culture ingrained with them, had been shut down.
They hadn't gotten rich. They hadn't retired by 25.
I'm gonna be retired by the age 25. Think about that.
Maybe you already had the car, and I hope you're not stuck with a leasing payment.
Members scraped off the hardened remnants of jizz that coated their dream boards and resigned themselves to the fact that they had obtained none of the things that they had been pleasuring themselves fantasizing about for the last few years.
When you wake up from being in a group like this, the shame, the embarrassment, the confusion.
I imagine it must have felt similar to that feeling you get right after jerking off to something really weird. You start to regain control of your senses and feel that shame creeping in. You try to walk it off and pretend it didn't happen, but it's there. The only solace comes from knowing that no one will ever know what you just looked at. Now imagine that everyone saw your search history and knew exactly what you'd been cranking it to. That's what it was like for Vemma affiliates. Their transgressions against the basic laws of dignity and self-respect had been broadcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for everyone to see. They can't take it back.
Oh my God!
And nobody will truly forget. In a flaccid display of closure, on September 20th, 2019, the FTC announced it would be mailing out refund checks to 28,000 victims of Vemma. An average of $78 per check. Vemma exploited the narcissism of a generation raised on consumerism, employing predatory techniques to move the needle. It failed because its rise was so unprecedentedly huge, they weren't prepared to control it once it blew up.
We started a phenomenon that shook the entire industry. And then something happened. Something happened.
Not because its strategy didn't work. Vemma laid the framework for a new generation of scams that target teenagers and employ the exact same deceptive rhetoric. These new schemes learned from Vemma's mistakes. They keep lower profiles. They operate behind fronts, keeping their affiliate recruitment structures buried in the background. They don't even bother with physical products anymore. What they sell is intangible. Online influence strategies or cryptocurrency training tools. The high-level guys at Vemma, they now proclaim to have job titles such as Momentum Catalyst. They're branding strategists providing tools to optimize your digital footprint, which is code for selling fake Instagram followers for a monthly subscription fee. Or they're peddling a predatory Forex trading software developed by a man convicted of felony credit card fraud who goes by the name of Quicksilver and claims to have the 93rd highest IQ. They shamelessly leave 5-star reviews of their own companies, pretending to be happy customers. They move from scam to scam, pillaging teenage bank accounts until they get shut down, then simply jump to the next scam. And the holy trinity of Vemma, its #1 star, its founder, and its biggest cohort, it's as if Vemma never even happened.
Today, I'm joining a company that's gonna allow me to dream bigger.
Son of a
achieve
bitch.
much more. I've never been so excited in my entire life. You are not gonna wanna miss this.
Alex Morton, despite being named all over the FTC's lawsuit, denied any responsibility for Vemma's illegal activity. Just days before the company was shut down, he struck a deal to join a new MLM operation, dragging thousands of Vemma affiliates with him.
Would you have invested in Uber, knowing what you know now about Apple, Amazon.com? Would you get involved early on? Yes.
A year later, a class action lawsuit accused this company of being a pyramid scheme. So he rallied his downline and jumped ship once again, being appointed Executive Vice President of iMarkets Live.
I have never been this excited and confident in my entire career.
A company widely accused of being a pyramid scheme. It's been scrutinized for its business model, which resembles a pyramid scheme. And the fact that, its vice president has been named in multiple lawsuits against pyramid schemes. He'll stick around until this one inevitably gets shut down, and in the meantime will carry on traveling the world, speaking at conferences, and conducting himself as a marketing genius. On his website, alexmortonmindset.com, he boasts in the third person of his accomplishments.
I made millions of dollars.
He even brags that he was featured in Rolling Stone, despite only being featured in that Vemma hit piece that called him King Douche. His public persona is downright embarrassing. Whether he's dressed like the Scorpion King's manservant or a hotel bellhop, he's louder and more bombastic than ever as he strokes his rich, engorged cock in front of naive teenagers around the globe.
This is guaranteed. This is guaranteed information to get anything you want, anything you desire.
Morton's mentor and Vemma's unofficial co-conspirator Bob Proctor now plays the same mindset guru role for another MLM company.
Team Diamond Global Network is putting something together. It is the deal of your life.
Where his wife, once again, makes
tens of thousands of dollars.
The insatiably horny Viagra enthusiast also runs the esteemed Proctor Gallagher Institute, where he offers a number of services to help you think your wealth into existence. According to Proctor, these programs don't cost a thing. They're simply investments. He just requires $2,000 or $3,000 or $7,000 or $15,000 up front. If you just can't get enough of Bob, you can pay $500 to $7,000 to attend his speaking events, or you can purchase gold coins or react and respond medallions from his website. For the die-hard proctologists out there,
if you think you'd like to do what I'm doing, I want to talk to you.
You can even work for him by becoming a Proctor Gallagher consultant, which you pay $18,000 for the right to become.
You'll never get anything that's more fulfilling, and I don't know anywhere where you could earn more money.
Once you pay $18,000 to become a consultant, your job is to recruit others to pay $18,000 to become consultants. Rumor has it that if you recruit enough people, Bob Proctor will invite you to an exclusive, high-priority clientele suite. Fuck you in the ass and use a wad of your cash to wipe the bloody excrement off his saggy, liver-spotted balls. As for BK Baroyko, that $238 million settlement, he didn't really have to pay it. It was basically suspended with a $470,000 payment and the forfeiture of, and I'm not joking, a house, a golf cart, a piece of vacant land, 2 motorcycles, some art, and a massage chair.
You see, over my career, I've had my wins and I have had my challenges, both with business and with the government regulators. But I want to let you know that on March 1st, I will be launching my 3rd startup, Body Pro. And you know, some would say 3rd time is a charm. What I want to share with you in the next few minutes isn't about money. It's about happiness. You are a child of God and you have greatness inside of you.
The show goes on. When it comes to this trio of bloodthirsty con artist crook pieces of literal shit, it's my hope that we can collectively apply the law of attraction for the greater good. Let's attract something special into our lives, manifest our dreams into reality. Let's exist in this vibration. Let's visualize Morton, Proctor, and Baroyko toiling away in the raging flames of eternal hellfire. Let's radiate the thought waves of the long-cocked Viagra-pumping demons of the netherworld, bestowing upon them an everlasting ass-pounding in the fiery pit of their deserved purgatory. They said it themselves. We can create any reality we want. If we dream it, we will achieve it.